All right. Have you ever thought about how McDonald's manages to stay relevant, stay fresh as they go global?
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're diving into McDonald's India,
Okay.
specifically Westlife Foodworld Ltd,
Right?
the masterminds
Yeah.
behind those golden arches in West and
Yes.
South India.
Mm-hmm.
And you sent us some amazing
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Their annual report, meeting minutes,
Wow.
even a policy document.
Yeah,
So let's get this deep dive cooking.
So I think one of the really fascinating things about this is
Yeah.
that it's not just burgers. We're talking McCafe, we're
Yeah.
talking McDelivery,
Okay.
and a whole lot more. I mean, they're really innovating to kind of,
Yeah.
capture more of that Indian market.
Okay, let's unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
First, who exactly is Westlife Foodworld Limited?
Ah,
I know they run McDonald's in part of India,
yeah.
but what's their story?
So they used to be Westlife Development,
Okay.
and they rebranded. I think it was in 2023 to Westlife Foodworld.
Okay.
So that's just kind of something to keep in mind as
Yeah.
you're looking at their stuff.
Right.
And they have a master franchise agreement
Okay.
with McDonald's Corporation in the U.S.
Okay.
that gives them the rights to develop and operate
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's restaurants
Okay.
across West and South India. So it's a pretty big area.
Wow.
And they're not just copying the American playbooks.
Right.
They're adapting to local tastes,
Right.
which is key in a diverse market like India.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I think, in your notes that they have separate vegetarian and non-vegetarian sections, which is huge in India.
Oh, absolutely.
And I remember when they launched the Jain menu a while back, they even brought in a MasterChef India star to promote it.
Exactly. That's so smart, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's really going beyond offering different options. I mean, they're actively engaging with specific communities,
Yeah.
showing that they understand and respect their needs.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, invaluable for any brand, that level of trust.
Right. You're building that trust.
Exactly.
Okay. They're saying, we're not just here to sell burgers. We're here to be a part of the community.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of understanding the market, tell me about this chef you mentioned, Swarup Solgankar.
Yes.
He seems to be a bit of a legend at McDonald's India.
Swarup? Yeah, Swarup. Is it? He is. He is their corporate executive chef.
Oh, wow.
And he's the mastermind behind the Piri Piri spice.
Okay.
Remember when McDonald's India introduced that back in, I think it was 2011?
Yep.
It was a huge hit.
Right.
And it's just a perfect example of
Yeah.
how they're blending global flavors with local tastes to create something unique.
Right. It's that local approach, right?
Exactly.
Global brand,
Yeah.
local touch.
Yes.
But even with,
Yeah.
clever chefs and localized menus,
Mm.
they're still operating in this larger industry
Right.
that's facing some headwinds.
Yeah.
What's the overall
Mm-hmm.
quick service restaurant scene in India
Yeah.
looking like these days?
So it's a little bit of a mixed bag.
Okay.
The QSR industry in India is still projected to grow significantly.
Okay.
I think there are estimates that it could double in size
Well,
by 2028.
that's huge.
Yeah, driven by things like urbanization, rising incomes,
Mhm.
people increasingly choosing convenience and safety when
Yeah.
it comes to eating out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, their annual report
Mm-hmm.
did mention a slight slowdown in the past year.
Right.
What's behind that?
Rising costs
Okay.
are a big factor, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Inflation is making everything more expensive.
Thanks, sir.
People are tightening their belts a bit.
Right.
And Westlife has actually addressed this directly
Okay.
by introducing their everyday McSaver meals.
Okay.
Priced at I think it's $149.
Yeah.
They're really designed to appeal to budget-conscious consumers.
So they're acknowledging the
Right.
economic reality
That is
and
them.
offering solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned the QSR market
Yeah.
is expected to double,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a lot of growth potential.
Yeah, it is.
Is that just about more people in cities
Yeah.
with more money to spend?
That's definitely part of it.
Okay.
But there's also like a cultural shift happening, right?
Yeah.
We're seeing this rise in what we're calling urban India,
Okay.
where smaller towns are kind of adopting these urban lifestyles, including eating out more often. and with more nuclear families, right?
Yeah.
There's just less reliance on those home cooked meals.
Yeah.
All of this is really contributing to that growing popularity of QSRs.
So Westlife is kind of right in the sweet spot
Yes.
of a market that's poised for major expansion,
Yeah,
and they're making smart
course.
moves to capitalize on that.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of smart moves, let's talk about their revenue and profitability.
Yeah.
How are they actually performing?
So let's dive into that next. Their growth strategy has two main kind of engines.
Right.
Same store sales growth,
Okay.
or SSSG, and then new store openings.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how each of those are playing out in this current market.
All right, let's break those down. Starting with SSSG.
Okay.
How are they doing it squeezing more sales out of their existing locations?
So they actually experienced a slight dip this year. Around, I think it was negative 1.5%, which they attribute to those cost pressures we were talking about.
Right.
But they're not letting that discourage them.
Okay.
They're aiming for a strong comeback.
Okay.
Projecting high single-digit SSSG growth in the coming years.
So they're not panicking, they're adapting.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what about new store openings?
Okay.
How aggressively are they expanding?
Pretty aggressively. I mean, they're planning to add 45 to 50 new stores in the next fiscal year alone.
Wow.
And they have a long-term goal to reach a whopping 630 restaurants by 2027.
Hold on. 630 locations by 2027.
Yes.
That's like opening a new McDonald's every week.
It's a lot.
Where are they finding all these prime spots?
So they're really focusing on a mix of iconic sites.
Yeah.
And those freestanding drive-thrus that are popping up everywhere.
Right, right.
And their brand is so strong that landlords are actually seeking them out.
Okay.
They see McDonald's as this stable, long-term tenant, which makes it a lot easier to secure those prime locations.
That's the Golden Arches effect.
Exactly.
Everyone wants to be near them.
Yeah.
But all this expansion takes money. Let's talk profitability.
Right.
How are they managing their costs and turning a profit in this environment?
So that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
They actually improved their gross margins this year by 40 basis points.
Wow.
Even with the slowdown and rising costs.
Okay.
They're achieving this through some pretty clever sourcing strategies
and cost optimization measures.
So they're finding ways to be more efficient.
Exactly.
Even when things are tough. That's impressive.
Yeah.
But margins are just one piece of the puzzle. What about their overall financial health?
Right.
Are they in a good position to
keep
growing like this?
That's a great question, and one that we'll dive into more deeply in the next part of our deep dive.
All right.
But for now, I can say that they're focusing on maintaining strong cash flow.
Okay.
Keeping their debt levels under control, and managing their liquidity effectively.
Right.
All of those are signs of a company that's planning for the long haul.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From their history and clever menu adaptations to their ambitious growth strategy and focus on financial health. It sounds like.
It really does.
Westlife Foodworld Ltd. Is much more than just a burger joint. They're a savvy business operation that's taken a bite out of the Indian market.
Absolutely. I mean, they're a great example of how a global brand can really succeed by truly understanding the local market, innovating to meet those evolving needs, and staying laser focused on financial stability.
And on that note, we're going to move on and explore how they're leveraging technology and digital platforms to fuel their growth.
Right.
Stay with us.
Yeah. Welcome back. We've been exploring Westlife Foodworld Ltd, the company behind McDonald's in West and South India.
Right.
And one thing that really stands out to me is how they're leveraging technology
to connect with consumers in this digitally driven world.
Yeah. It's not just about brick and mortar stores anymore, right?
No.
People want convenience, and that means having their favorite McDonald's meals.
Exactly.
Just a few taps away.
Exactly. And Westlife is really killing it in the digital space.
Okay.
We're talking about over 32 million app downloads.
That's huge.
That's a massive number, and it just shows how much people are embracing their online platform for ordering and delivery.
32 million downloads.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But what makes their app so special? What's driving all those downloads?
It's more than just a basic ordering app. They've integrated AI to offer these personalized recommendations, which can be incredibly effective at boosting sales and keeping customers engaged.
So it's like having a little digital McDonald's concierge right in your pocket. Suggesting, the perfect meal based on your past orders and preferences.
Yeah. So it's not just about ordering ahead and skipping the line. It's about really creating that personalized experience that caters to those individual tastes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And let's not forget McDelivery.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which has become a huge growth driver for them. This year alone, McDelivery grew 7%.
Wow.
And now accounts for a whopping 41% of their total sales.
41%.
Yeah.
That's almost half their business coming from delivery.
Yeah.
I guess it shouldn't be surprising.
No.
People are busier than ever.
Right.
And, they want to enjoy those favorite meals without having to leave home.
It's a testament to how they're adapting, right?
Yeah.
To changing consumer behavior.
Yeah, makes sense.
And they're not just relying on those third-party delivery apps.
Okay.
They've strategically deployed their own delivery fleet.
Oh, okay.
In key cities.
Okay.
Which gives them more control over that customer experience and ensures quality and timely service.
So they're building their own delivery ecosystem.
Exactly.
From digital ordering to managing their own fleet. They're taking ownership of the entire customer journey.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about their brick and mortar expansion plans. They mentioned a goal of 630 restaurants.
Yeah.
By 2027, which is a huge jump.
It is.
From where they are now. How are they going to achieve that?
So they're using a multi-pronged approach. So they're penetrating deeper into their existing markets
while also venturing into new territories.
Okay.
The plan is for about 60% of the new stores to be in South India.
Okay.
And interestingly, about 50 to 60% are likely to be in smaller, emerging towns.
So it's not just about targeting big metropolitan cities. They're recognizing the potential in these smaller towns that are experiencing rapid growth and a rising middle class.
Exactly. Tapping into what's often called urban India, where you see that blend of rural and urban lifestyles.
Makes sense.
These towns... they have increasing disposable income, a growing desire for branded experiences, making them ideal
Makes sense.
for QSR expansion.
See, like they're planting McDonald's flags across the map of India, strategically targeting these high-growth
areas.
Yes.
But it's not just about being present.
No.
It's about offering...
It's about what you offer.
Something people love.
Yeah.
So let's talk brand performance. What are some of the key factors driving their brand strength in India?
It's a combination of factors, but their commitment to localization really stands out. They're really blending those global standards with those local flavors.
Right.
Like that piri-piri spice we were talking about.
Right. They're taking that iconic McDonald's brand recognition and quality, but adding those local touches that... resonate with Indian consumers.
Yes. And it goes beyond spice, right? I mean, they've launched a Jain menu catering to the dietary needs of a specific community.
Right.
Yeah. They even partnered with MasterChef India stars
Right.
to promote it, which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah.
It shows they're paying attention to that diverse cultural landscape of India,
Right.
and making that genuine effort to connect with different communities.
It's all about building that trust, showing you understand
Exactly.
your customers. And speaking of understanding customers, they seem to be doing a great job of evolving their menu and offering more variety.
Yeah.
Their report mentioned McCafe's growth, the popularity of the McSpicy platform, and those limited time offers, like the cheesy Italian burger.
Right. So McCafe is a great example of how they're expanding beyond burgers and fries, tapping into that growing cafe culture in India.
Right. Right.
And then that McSpicy platform, I mean, with those bolder flavors, clearly resonating with those who want a little more kick.
Makes sense. Yeah.
They're constantly innovating, experimenting to cater to different tastes and moods.
Right. Makes sense. They're also partnering with other brands to create even more buzz and excitement. They've got collaborations with Lotus Biscoff for desserts, Oreo cones, Kit Kat desserts, even Cadbury gems.
Yes. It's like a dessert dream team.
Yeah.
They're bringing together all of these beloved brands to offer something unique and exciting.
Yeah, it's a smart strategy to keep your menu fresh and relevant.
Yeah, it's clear they're not content with just maintaining the status quo. They're actively seeking ways to grow, innovate, and solidify their position as a leader in the Indian QSR market.
Okay, we've explored their digital dominance, their ambitious expansion plans, and their commitment to delivering a strong brand experience. Now, let's take a closer look at the numbers.
Right.
And see how all of this is translating into financial success.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about their financial health. They mentioned strong cash flow, manageable debt levels, and solid liquidity management.
Yeah.
But what does all of that actually mean?
So let's break down those financial statements and see how Westlife is managing the money side of the business.
Okay.
First up, cash flow. It's like the lifeblood of any business, right?
Right.
And especially one that's in a growth phase, like Westlife. Their annual report highlights strong cash flow as a core strength, and the numbers back that up.
So they're not just making profits on paper; they're actually generating real cash from their operations.
Exactly.
That's good news for investors. But what about debt? Every company has some level of debt, but how are they managing theirs?
So their annual report states that their debt levels are under control.
Okay.
And looking at their balance sheet, we can see they have a mix of short-term and long-term debt.
Okay.
Importantly, most of their debt is secured, meaning it's backed by assets, which reduces the risk for lenders.
No, they're not just borrowing recklessly. They're being
strategic about it.
Yeah.
They're making sure they can comfortably meet those debt obligations.
It's all about finding that sweet spot between growth and financial stability. And it sounds like they've
done a good job of that.
Good job. Now, what about liquidity? They mentioned strong liquidity management. What does that mean in practical terms?
Liquidity refers to a company's ability to meet its short-term financial obligations.
Right.
And Westlife maintains a comfortable level of cash equivalents, ensuring they can cover those immediate expenses without any problem. It's like having that financial cushion to absorb any unexpected shocks or to seize new opportunities.
Right. So they're not just focused on the big picture. They're also paying attention to that day-to-day financial management.
Exactly.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Of a well-run company.
It shows they're thinking strategically and tactically. Right. They're not just growing for the sake of growth. They're managing their finances responsibly to ensure long-term sustainability.
Right.
And that brings us to a key question.
Okay.
What does all this mean for Westlife Foodworld Ltd? Are they just serving up delicious meals, or are they also serving up a healthy dose of financial prudence?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So let's synthesize all this information and see what picture emerges in the final part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
Just stay with us. Welcome back to our deep dive into McDonald's India. We're unraveling the success story of Westlife Foodworld Ltd. We've explored their menu magic, their tech-savvy strategies, their aggressive expansion, and we even peeped into their financial playbook.
Oh.
But what does it all add up to? Is this a company that's built to last, or are there some cracks beneath those golden arches?
That is the key question, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of positive signs from their impressive growth and digital dominance to their focus on cost management and financial health.
Yep.
But let's synthesize all this information and see what picture emerges.
Let's put on our analyst hats and try to connect the dots here. Yeah. We've seen how Westlife is really skillfully adapting to the unique dynamics of the Indian market.
Right.
They're not just importing a business model.
Right.
They're embracing the local culture, evolving with the changing tastes and preferences of Indian consumers.
They're not just serving burgers.
Right.
They're serving experiences.
Right.
And they're doing it with this keen understanding of what makes the Indian market tick.
Right.
I mean, from separate vegetarian and non-vegetarian sections to a Jain menu promoted by a MasterChef India star. They're showing that they get it.
And it's not just about ticking boxes. It's about building.
It's about building that trust.
Trust and loyalty.
By
demonstrating a genuine understanding of their diverse customer base.
Yeah, it's like
that local approach.
Their local approach.
We talked about global brand, local touch.
Exactly.
But taken to a whole new level.
A whole other level. Yeah. It's a smart strategy.
Yeah.
And it's clearly paying off. I mean, we see it in their strong brand performance, their consistent revenue growth, and their ability to attract and retain customers in a very competitive market.
And let's not forget their digital prowess.
Yeah.
They're not just riding the digital wave. They're surfing it with style.
Yes.
With over 32 million
amazing
app downloads.
Yeah.
They're creating this seamless and personalized experience that's resonating with tech-savvy consumers.
That digital ecosystem they've built from those AI-powered recommendations to their own dedicated delivery fleet. I mean, it's a game changer.
It really is.
It's allowing them to reach more customers, offer greater convenience, and ultimately drive those sales and that loyalty.
Yeah. But all of this innovation and expansion wouldn't be possible without a solid financial foundation.
Right.
And that's where their focus on cash flow, debt management, and liquidity really shines.
They've managed to strike that delicate balance between aggressive growth and financial prudence.
Yeah.
They're investing in their future while also ensuring they can weather any storms that might come their way.
So what's the verdict?
Yeah.
Is Westlife Foodworld Ltd. A company that's built to last?
Based on everything we've explored, I'd say they're in a very strong position. They've got a winning formula.
Okay.
A deep understanding of the Indian market.
Right.
A commitment to innovation and globalization. A powerful digital strategy.
Yeah.
And a rock-solid financial foundation.
It's a recipe for success.
It is.
And it's clearly working. Yeah. They're not just serving up delicious meals.
No.
They're serving up a masterclass in how to build a thriving business in a dynamic and competitive market.
And that's the beauty of of a deep dive like this, it's not just about understanding the numbers. Right. It's about uncovering the strategies, the insights, the lessons that can be applied to any business in any industry.
So the next time you're enjoying a McDonald's meal, remember that there's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes than meets the eye.
Exactly.
It's the fascinating story of adaptation, innovation, and financial savvy.
Yes.
All playing out against this backdrop of a rapidly evolving India.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into McDonald's India. Yeah. I hope you found it insightful, informative, and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those deep dive questions.